Okay, now it's official. Hi, this is Julio Pabon. I am, I guess, in the underground studios of this revolution that we're commencing. That has been going on for a while, but now we're taking it to another level. And what I mean by that is, don't be afraid. It's the fact that there's a position for Congress here in the South Bronx, the poorest urban congressional district in the country, where my friend, the person that I was his chief of staff when he ran for borough president, when at that time that was the revolution, going against the other type of mob in the Bronx. And Serrano did an incredible run, and after that became his chief of staff. So he's a personal friend. I know him since then, but he's been in Congress for a while, and unfortunately he's sick, and he announced that he's no longer running for office. So the position for Congress in the Congressional District 15 in the South Bronx, where I've been living at since I've been 4 years old, is vacant. I wasn't interested in a job. I'm not interested in a job. I'm not interested in a career. I'm not rich, but I live well, thanks to small businesses that I've set up, and good networking within our community to support each other. Things that we want to enhance with others. I don't need a job. I don't need a career. But everywhere I walked in the South Bronx, ever since Serrano said he's not running, because now about 15 people have jumped into this race, and half of them is like they're parachuted in. They don't even live in the district. And the other half are elected officials that people know. They might be well-intentioned, but they really haven't done enough what people feel has been something so dramatic that has changed the conditions of the lives of many people in the South Bronx. So to be in Congress, which encompasses an entire different district, huge district, almost half of the Bronx, people are concerned. Who's going to be the next congressman? Rightfully so. And unfortunately, that affects me, because every time my wife and I went to a restaurant, and when we walked the streets, because I walk the streets all the time, I bike the streets. I live on 150th Street in the Grand Concourse, between Walton and the Grand Concourse. And I'm constantly taking the subway. I'm constantly taking the buses. And people know me. I've been there since I was 4 years old. So people ask me, Julio, what do you think about this campaign? And I've heard that. And then it went from people, Julio, what do you think about this campaign? To, hey, Julio, how come you don't run? Because I've also been involved in the community. Aside from running businesses, I've always been involved in something, because you can't survive in the South Bronx if you don't get involved in something in the South Bronx, whether it's to get better heat, whether it's to get hot water, whether it's to go against a police brutality issue, whether it's to save a daycare center, whether it's to save a school, whether it's to save a hospital. By the way, I've done a little bit of all that. And the fact is that you always have to be involved. So because I've always been involved, in Spanish they would say que era entremetido, that I get involved in things that don't involve me. But I've always learned that I don't like abuses. I don't like abuses. If I see an abuse, I have to say something. I have to get involved. And because I've been involved a lot, people know me, people see me, and people say, yo, how come you don't do something? How come you don't run for Congress? You've done so much, and you have done it without any interest in making money. You haven't done it for any interest of, getting a position. Can you imagine what you could do if you were a congressman? And my answer to them for months has been, I'm not interested. I really am not. You don't have to be elected to be effective, has been my philosophy. And what people have taught me to realize is that, you don't have to be elected to be effective. Can you imagine how effective you could be if you were a congressman in the South Bronx and you're not interested in a job and you're not interested in a career? Wow, that's high combustion adrenaline. And that's what I think that basically got me to say, okay, at least I'll explore it. And I did. And while most people were jumping in and announcing and putting their names down to run for Congress, and what I was doing was basically just talking to people and asking people not to endorse me, but if I was to be your congressman, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? I know a lot. In fact, I don't want to brag, but I think I know better than most of the people who are running what's really happening in the streets. Walk me in the streets. Follow me one day and see what I see on a day, and you'll see that I'm not exaggerating. However, that's not my forte. That's not why I'm asking people to consider this revolution. Basically, is that this is an opportunity to really make a difference in the South Bronx, and that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm giving up all the stuff that I do. I go to Puerto Rico 5 times a year. I have a business there. I have 8 grandchildren, 1 great-granddaughter, and 3 beautiful children that I love dearly. I like to spend time with them, and I'm sacrificing all of that to do this. You know why? Because this is not long term. For me, I want to help prepare someone else. But bottom line is, this is not about me. It's about building a movement that whether I win or I don't win, whether I get in and I stay for a while or don't stay for a while, the fact is that there's an alternative movement that's going to continue. And that's what it's all about. So one of the reasons that I'm running is because I'm having fun, and I'm asking everybody to join us to have fun in this revolution. 2, it's not about me. Let's use this opportunity to build the movements that we need to build that are going to continuously maintain themselves, whether we win or not. But they're going to help, enhance other movements that are presently taking place to help the Bronx. And 3, it's a revolution, man. It can't be a conventional campaign. If this was a conventional campaign, think about it. Look at any one of those individuals that have put themselves up, perhaps except one. And you look at them and you tell me that these are not conventional elected officials. They're conventional. Nothing's going to happen in the South Bronx. We need a revolution. And I think the only person that has said anything close to that has been Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has been saying for a while that we need a political revolution. Well, I want to say to Bernie's people and to all our people that political revolution has started now in the South Bronx. Thank you. Love you all.